Right then, this is a quick walk around video, a little bit later in the day than I really hoped to do, but there we are. This is for a beautiful looking car. This is a Lexus CT200, it's the F Sport model, finished in white with a full black leather interior and fitted with the sat-nav option. A really handsome looking car. 76,000 miles, I don't know if I said that, but that's what it's done. And it really does look absolutely beautiful. Lights and lenses, you can see they're completely clear and intact. Bumper to the car, very clean indeed. Hardly stone chip anywhere on there at all. Near side of the vehicle, passenger side, very smooth in the panel work. Alloys look really good. Obviously the odd very light mark on them, but nothing much to write home about. And the remaining panels, very nice indeed. And coming in the back of the car, again, bumper corners really clean. Off side of the vehicle, again, very nice. Off side rear alloy, again, been kept really nicely. No sort of major scratches or dents that I can see anywhere on there at all. And then finally, offside front alloy, again, generally good with just the odd tiny little mark. Really handsome looking car this. Coming into the back now, been kept very nicely indeed. The leatherwork looks absolutely superb. It doesn't look as though it's been used very much in the back at all, in all honesty. Coming into the front, passenger side, and door cards really nice. Full set of genuine Lexus mats, of course, fitted to the car, and you've got electric seats. And this front passenger one, again, hardly looks as though it's ever really been given any use. Let's come into the driver's door card. You've got your electric memory settings there for the seats. Again, all very clean and tidy. And the driver's seat itself, the one that takes all the wear, exhibits virtually nothing at all. So inside the car now, engine's actually turned on. It'll probably cut in at any point. This is just so I can show the dashboard illuminated. It's a wonderful looking dashboard, and it's been kept absolutely beautifully in here. As I said, this is the sat-nav model, so this is an option on the car, all working exactly as it should. If I pop the car into reverse there, you get that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. What's nice about these screens, a couple of things. Obviously press a button there, you can close it if you don't want it up, but also different daylight, you can tilt it in different positions there. Really clever idea. Then come across the main dashboard there, or binnacle rather, you can see 76,108 miles. The only warning light on is just for low fuel, which is just pinged on actually. If I pop the car into sport mode, you get this wonderful display come up with the red light and the rev counter. It looks absolutely fantastic. It really is a lovely car to sit in. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus CT200, and it's the F Sport model. This particular car is registered GX63NPC, and mileage at the start of the road test is 76,102 miles. The reason we do these videos is very simple indeed. We basically want people who are looking at all of our cars online and adverts to actually see those cars in operation. And the reason for that is basically we know, unfortunately, to our cost, just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look lovely in the photographs and in the description given, only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got a fundamental issue which you would much rather have known about before setting off. So that is why we do it. It's also done on these very quiet country roads, very close to our premises. So hopefully then it will be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So starting with what used to be the engine, I suppose you'd now call it the power unit of the vehicle. Obviously push button start, and starts straight away, it goes into battery mode most of the time, so it's in silent mode. Just a simply brilliant piece of engineering. The interaction between the hybrid system and the engine is all but imperceptible when you're driving the car. It ends up giving you this wonderfully smooth power delivery, and in conjunction with the gearbox, obviously it's a CVT gearbox, so it's got this utterly seamless kind of quality to it. Much rather you hadn't pulled out in front of me. Oh, never mind. But it's just astonishing. For those who haven't driven one before, it is a complete eye-opener when you get into the cars and drive them and can't quite believe they can drive as smoothly or pull along as smoothly as they do. It really is, say, quite sensational piece of engineering. You can drive the car in different modes. You've got economy, normal and sport. With the normal economy and sport normal setup, you've got the dashboard directly in front. If I twist it to the right to go into sport mode, suddenly you get a lot more urgency to the throttle. You get this lovely dash illuminate, so you've got a rev counter there. This little red hue in front. It looks absolutely fantastic. It really does. There's no warning lights on the dashboard at all, by the way, relating to the engine or any other part of the car. But absolutely superb, it really is. As I said, the engine goes into the automatic gearbox. Nothing much to look for on the Lexus cars. They are pretty much bulletproof in the way they engineer these things. Having said that, there shouldn't be any clunks or nasty noises coming from underneath the car while you're driving along, and there is nothing at all. It's absolutely beautifully engineered. Steering of the car feels really good in hand. It's a nice thick steering wheel, which kind of helps the sensation, but it's nicely weighted, very positive and accurate. It's very kind of oily in the way it feels. It's got that feeling of wonderful engineering to it. It also tracks absolutely dead straight, and exhibits no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, so all very, very tight on the road. Same goes for the suspension, because what I'm looking for on the suspension basically is any kind of noises that shouldn't be coming from underneath the vehicle, any sort of chatterings or knockings, and there is nothing at all. It's it's absolutely, you hear it hit the bump, but nothing beyond that. And also the suspension gives you a very compliant, well-judged ride, which still allows for a kind of a flow to the chassis through the corners. It's not an out-and-out sports car. Lexus weren't trying to make it that, but what it is something that's very sort of it's very kind of direct, I suppose is the best way to sort of describe it. But it really does sort of flow through corners really, really nicely. Unfortunately, I picked a rotten time to try and show this with the chap in front dawdling along, but there we go. I'll do the brakes on the car a bit later because I've got cars right behind me. I know they're very good because we've checked them anyway, but I'll give them a bit of a shove later on in the video. Coming inside the vehicle, we bought one of these a few months ago, and it was the first one I'd ever had. I'd seen pictures of them, hadn't really given them a second thought. We sell lots of Lexus product, the IS250s and the RXs, but I'd not had one of these before. And then I sat in one, and immediately, the first things first, it just fits like a glove. It literally kind of wraps around you. Got quite a high console in the middle here, which I really like. But everything that catches your eye, it just has it's incredibly neat, it's very modern, it's beautifully thought out, and of course, being a Lexus, simply brilliantly put together as well. But there's something about it, which I'm sure I'll get there in the end, but there's something about just the way it's laid out, the lettering on the buttons, everything about it just feels like you're sat in a cockpit of something other than a car. And it just, if that's their intention, fair play to them, because it's brilliantly done. It feels really special, and that's probably the best description I can give it. F Sports don't come as standard with sat-nav. Obviously this one does, and it works absolutely perfectly, as you can see there. You've got a dual zone climate control system, which is really nice to operate, and I like the fact that they've separated it here. Pumps out absolutely ice cold air, by the way, so all exactly as it should be. Heated seats, little button down here to press those, again all working exactly as it should. Directly in front of me, as I've mentioned before, these dashboard, you can configure it slightly differently. It just, again, the quality of the information it imparts is beautifully done. It's just like the fine detailing in there, which they've obviously spent a lot of time trying to get it looking right, and it looks absolutely superb. The steering wheel pretty much looks and feels as new in hand, but it's a lovely steering wheel. It's really thick rimmed. It just feels just beautiful. It's just a lovely car to drive, I have to say. Everything I've pressed thus far working exactly as the manufacturer intended, by the way. I'm just going to give the brakes a bit of a shove, as I promised. They're all behind me, but it's a really powerful brake on the car. No pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all, so all exactly as it should be. Crikey, the heated seats are very effective. So as I said at the start of the video, brief as it might be, it's just, as I said, just a quick drive of the vehicle. It drives absolutely beautifully. Sorry, distracted by a really rather lovely sunset in front of me. I just can't fault it. It just drives as tight as drums, as I said. It really, really is a super car. Any questions at all? As always, don't hesitate. Do give us a call.